when you're done, and I'll make a copy and
Oh,
paste
yeah,
it
sure.
where people won't see it.
Stackable. I thought you wanted to write stackable for some reason. Stackable cards, trust. No, not gonna lie.
Okay, how are we doing?
This one looks better, bro. Trust.
Stacked cards. Sure.
Okay, now we
go
need
ahead
to
and save
remove
this.
anything that's above it so we can read it.
I
from
still have the
that.
placements ready so I can repaste stuff when this gets shit.
In case there's another fucking air strike here, you can repaste it. Good.
Can someone with Axiom move stacked up 2 blocks so it's further away from carts?
Yes, I can. Don't worry.
I could, but it's a little bit harder for me to do.
I'm done.
Oh dang, that's cartless.
I think we are ready then. I might clean up the cart spam on the floor though.
No, leave them.
Surely this is why I play in a void world though, because
just fast left click them with a sword.
Sword, that's a good point.
Yeah, you can also fast right click them with snowballs if you're in creative. Learned that from a Cubic video.
I say, yeah, we can just start this. Hello, everybody. Welcome into the cart variable-based sort or cart-based variable sorting conversation. Chris and I are just kind of yap about various things. The kind of 3 areas we have set up if you're in the world is splitters, Sigvar, and then stacked cart stuff because they're all kind of like their own unique sets of things. There is going to be crossover, obviously, but like, you know, I think it's going to be helpful to have those as 3 different kind of topics. But yeah, I don't know. I was thinking if it sounds all right to you, Christone, that we could start with like splitters because it's kind of like the most basic.
Sword, that's good.
Oh, there are cards here.
Actually, I was kind of thinking we should have discussed this a little bit first, but there's 2 main types of like variable cart filters. There's ones where the cart is static and you have a suction cart underneath doing stuff. And then there's one where the filter cart is cycling.
Yeah.
So
That's
I was
fair.
actually wanting to start over here with the static filter cart. And I think Luxar's is also the same as that. I think Cybots goes into cycling though, and yours is cycling.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
So I was gonna start here. There was one other thing I meant to paste in though, which was just the stupid simple. And so just take a second.
You good?
With rail placements, yes, I can do that quickly.
Oh my god, so good.
Okay.
Classic cart filter.
This is like your YouTube garbage.
Yeah.
No, it's peak.
Okay, and I need my blocker.
Just take barrier.
I like black stained glass.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
Redstone dust will be the filter. Okay. Blah.
Amazing.
So this is yeah, just your simple like 8 times faster hopper filter using carts now. And so just whenever the cart's full, the bottom gets unlocked. I think people should know this already. And so then the main idea with like the earlier types of variable cart filters was that the suction cart gets replaced. And how is this borked? Okay. So this was a demo I set up. So here, these boxes have some cobblestone in them. And the filter here is set up for cobblestone. And this is just a quick demo that shows that when the filter cart is increased, it's detected, and a cart's placed below. And then when the cart below is full, it's replaced with a new cart, so it can continue pulling items. And then when the cart is, when the filter cart gets too low, the bottom cart's also broken, because that stops the suction. So I'll just show this. So bottom cart here is filling up, and the output for the splitters would normally be like an 8x box loader. Here I have a water stream output at the top.
Oh, this is very simple. Nice.
This actually has a bug, which is why there's a note block at the bottom.
Does it not replace sometimes?
There is one case where the detection will just never work.
Okay.
So you just got to replace the cart, and then it'll continue, which is the red box in the dispenser.
I think one thing maybe worth noting that's going to come up probably a fair bit is if you come onto this side of it, this hopper and barrel setup here is basically just a comparator updater. So carts and detector rails are really stupid, and they forget to update themselves for random periods of time. And so you can put one item in this barrel and then 5 items in this hopper, and every game tick, the barrel tries to push its item to the hopper, and that tells the comparator to recheck itself. So this just guarantees that you're reading the accurate signal strength from the hopper minecart as it changes. And that's going to appear all over the place whenever you're doing fill level stuff with carts.
Yeah, and another thing to note, like for this design, is that it can be, the hopper here does cause a bit of lag, so it can be locked when the filter's not in use. Like now it should be locked. I would just connect it to this torch here, but I was too lazy to do that. So yeah, but that's an easy optimization there.
Mm-hmm. Those hoppers are much laggier than your average hopper.
So now the problem is how to set up the filter cart at the top. There's a bunch of different ways to do this. Luxor Splitter has an example, but I'll start with mine here. This one is set up so that the dispenser places the cart on the sloped rail. And so when a dispenser places a cart, I don't know how many people actually know this. This is probably common knowledge. Oops. That when a dispenser does place a cart, it's actually, oh, stupid. Cart rail, totally. The cart is actually also on the next block, so it's not going to fall. This trick can be used here because right as the dispenser places the cart, all 4 of these hoppers are actually going to put their blocker items into the cart, and there's no inventories.
Nice.
So imagine there's blockers in that. Luxor Splitter should have inventories, hopefully, and we can look at how those work.
Yeah, it does.
But here, the cart would get filled up with 4 blockers and a 5th from the dropper below. And it's actually the first blocker because it's powered with the dispenser. So the dispenser powers, then the dropper powers in the same game tick just afterward. And then the 4 blockers go in, and then this hopper pulls out the first blocker so that the first slot of the cart is empty.
Yeah.
This is just another way of doing it. There's a lot of ways of doing that same step, but those 5 steps, roughly 5, need to happen every time you set up this filter cart. And
this kind of.
Yep.
No, go ahead.
Oh yeah, unstackables. I'll discuss why they're not used here, I guess.
Yeah, you don't have to. I was going to point out that there's like 2 kind of primary configurations of filter carts, which have different advantages and disadvantages.
I'm going to talk about cycling later. I don't know where you're going.
Yeah. No, just talking about just like there's literally just like people either put the variable filter item in the first slot or the last slot.
Yeah.
Right. And those are like the only two real options because putting it in a middle slot has no advantage. And so people put it in the first slot, and that takes like a little bit of extra prep in the front because you need to put an item into the first slot and then pull it out again.
Yeah.
But
let
if you
me-
put it in the last slot, you can just put the 4 blockers in and you're done. The problem is it's harder to get the filter item out, but it's easier to get the blockers out.
Yeah. So here, these designs. Let me back up. That's a great point. So these designs are based upon a filter cart and then a suction cart below it. I really should probably show this design because it should have blockers. Yes. Okay. This one here has all the stuff, but it's surrounded by signs and stuff. So in these 4 hoppers here, we've got our 4 blocker items, and but we'll come back to that. So, sorry, I keep getting distracted. The 2 carts, because we're talking about why the blocker items are the way they are. There's this filter cart above, and then the suction cart. So I'm gonna see if I can create a filter cart really quickly. Let me bet I
Holy
hit the wrong
observer
button.
chain.
Dispense first 2 filter carts. Okay, let's go. Please work. I have not tested this thing in a long time. Okay, it worked. Cool. So we've got, I'd probably recommend not hitting buttons because that probably screws things up, but we're good. Oh, did it do that?
Oh, what the hell just happened?
Oh, lol, I forgot it actually made this thing a little smart. Okay. Great. This is too smart. I need a stage between these two. Darn it.
Too good.
I need a test box then. Where's...
All the test boxes are on the south side. I can grab one.
I need to just do this manually. I don't know.
I have one.
I want to remove the clock, and I don't remember how this worked to remove the clock. Yeah, I'll just do it manually. Wow, we're doing so good.
It's all good.
Well, this is kind of like the core concept. Okay. I'm going to do it this way. Just test it on the side. Where's my blockers? I think I had... these. 1, 2, 3, 4, and items. Okay, so try it again. Top card over here if people can find me. I need to lock the cart. So try this again. Our filter is set up with the item in the front because the cart below is pulling from it. And so you can't have the stuff later in the filter cart because then the bottom cart will pull out the filter or blocker items. So now the question is, why are they stackable? Well, because when you want to get the items back out of the filter cart and reset the filter, you could pull out all the items and then pull out your blockers, but that takes a lot of time to pull out all the items. This is the benefit of cart yeeting, is that you can get all the items out of the cart by just breaking it. But if you get the blockers out first, which is why there's a lot of miss systems that will use the 4 blocker setup with unstackables first, is because the there we go, like that. because then you can remove the 4 unstackable blockers really easy with hoppers, and then break the cart, and now you've got your items. Chinese tech has hack methods to get the item out first with entity age, but I don't really want to go there. Ask me later sometime, I guess. But yeah, so you use filtered items here because then you can pull those out really easy with filter hoppers.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can just yeet the cart. Okay, so that's like that basic concept. Then to set up these blocker items initially, because it's a variable filter, we don't have the item yet in the first slot. We don't know what's going to go into this cart yet. You got to put the blockers in first, then get the items into the cart, or then use it as a filter. And that sets the filter. So to get these blockers into the cart, you have to add a first dummy item and then pull it back out to make sure the blockers go into the last 4 slots.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Cart configuration is like such a massive part of any and every system. It's like typically one of the largest components is like trying to figure out how to get the cart set up properly.
Yeah, and I was joking with Tiz that in my ideal splitter, the cart blockers and blocker management took up like half the core, which is the top half of the machine. So it took up like a quarter of the whole machine.
Yeah, which is like not uncommon, actually.
Yeah.
Like it's a huge part of what we have to do.
I think we should just skip to Luxar's splitter. I don't know that I had much special here.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, like, I think Luxar is a good example of the
I thought this
concept.
was unclocked, and so it was going to be a great demo and explanatory help.
But you went too far. You did too many things.
I didn't save a schematic between the two. I could run this and see when it fails, but I don't know. I don't think it's worth it.
Okay, we can move to Luxar's, which is an application of that before we move on to the.
Yeah, Luxar is just basically the same thing, but it actually works.
Yeah, and so there are obviously like 2 things we're kind of comparing here, being the ones that rotate carts, which we haven't talked about yet, and the static cart. But I think look at the static cart first, which I can grab a box.
Yeah, so here's the blocker setup. I'll go ahead and just show that quickly in the working one.
Yeah.
So the cards are dispensed here, and then the first blocker is this hopper. Don't actually know how the slots aren't. How on earth? Okay, whatever. Oh, because the hopper above empty. Sorry. Anyways, the first blocker comes in that hopper, and then we have. I should get some better way of pointing, but I don't know how to do that. Second, I'll use my head. Second blocker is gonna come in this hopper. Third, probably this hopper. That could be switched. Then got your 4th and your 5th in these 2 hoppers. And then the first blocker is pulled out here right before it enters the filtering spot, which is here. Now, one thing to note about Luxar's splitter is because of the way it's placed, will this break stuff? Just hope it doesn't. When the cart is here, you actually can't place the box because the entity box collides. So it places the box first and then sends in the filter carts. But that's just a weird quirk.
I'll toss a box into it, and
yeah, we can see it splitting.
Tick rate like 5 initially, so we can just kind of see what's happening.
Sure, yeah.
So now the box gets placed.
Yeah, so we got the box here. I got variable items in it. And the first filter set to iron.
This box is really
this will probably just get cooled down and broken. Because that's not enough. It has to reach a certain threshold before it unlocks the suction carts below.
Yeah, and that's so you can maintain the filter and the cart.
These aren't going to really reach the threshold except for maybe the deep slate redstone ore. So I'll talk about unformatting the carts. Here, the blockers go back over these 4 hoppers to return the blockers. Then it gets broken. And the items are sent down into the box loader. So we should be nearing the redstone. Oh, still got some time. Uh, okay. So the comparator here reads the fill level of the filter cart. I don't know exactly how his works, but the general idea, this would be the unstackable trigger. If the filter cart, no, red zone here. Okay, so it gets above a threshold, that's 32. Now the lower carts are pulling out more of the items. So this is the threshold, and now it's draining from the filter. And so here he's dispensing 2 carts at a time at the bottom that makes sure it always is fast enough to pull out any buffer that can appear. Then those carts are broken and sent to the 8 times box loader.
I think this box is actually a good demonstration of kind of one of the weaknesses of having the doing this kind of double cart setup where you have the static filter, because it does not do very well with like low thresholds of items, because you need to wait to make sure that you pull the correct number of items, and only if you don't can you actually start doing it, because otherwise you can lose your filter items.
Yeah, you got to wait a bit for it to fill up, and that takes time.
And so it doesn't do well with unstackables and the like as well as a result.
Yeah, is there an unstackable in this box? I might just add one.
You should,
empty.
yeah.
I don't like adding it when it's empty. That can break stuff.
That is true, yeah.
Because it should break the box now that it's empty pretty soon. Yep, there we go. So it broke the box. Yeah, I guess unstackable is the first thing I want to talk about, then box loading a little bit, and then we're probably done here. Do we have another box? Maybe one with an unstackable in it?
I can grab one really quick.
I could have prepared a pile, but I forgot.
Here, I'll just put it unstackable on the first slide of this
Yeah,
box.
bet.
There's items in it too. I just put it in.
Oh, yeah. Which server had the quick pickup?
I'm not sure.
Oh,
So right now, yeah, there's an unstackable which needs to get detected.
did you get it in? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the trick with unstackables is that normally when the filter cart starts, it'll start at signal strength 1, then go to signal strength 2, then to signal strength 3, and at signal strength 3 is when the suction cart is triggered. But if the signal immediately jumps up to signal strength 3 without taking any time to get there, we're like, oh, that got there really quickly. That's probably an unstackable item. Because it just pulled it in once, one item, and it's the whole stack. And so it detects that dramatic increase in signal strength right here, and this is triggering the unstackable stuff somehow.
Yeah, and I broke out that component from my splitter, so we can look at it in a little more detail there if we want to.
Yeah. The box loader for this design is somewhat simple. It's just the items are loaded into the box at 8 times speed, and the box is broken whenever there aren't any more items coming in. He detects that. So the pink block here and the white at the top detects the cart being yeeted on that side. And on this side is something else. Okay, he actually has some detection from the circuitry. Because there's one way to do this where you just detect items coming in and then do it based on that break.
Mm-hmm.
But he has it actually a bit smarter and connected to the system.
Yeah, I
there's
think
a bunch of different ways to do that as well.
Yeah.
But
well, I would say one of the more conceptual pieces of this is like there's kind of like 2 ways to unload carts and load boxes from carts. One of them is to pull straight from the cart, and the other is to yeet the box. and here he's yeeting the box, or yeeting the cart rather, and then picking up with carts again, which has in this case, he's using idle carts to do it, which you don't actually need to do. But it's a lot simpler just to use idle carts.
If you look at Andrew's ideal splitter, he shows how to get these, at least the bottom two carts.
Yeah. And then in Andrew's, and like I use the loader in my splitter from Andrew's.
Word's ideal splitter does this whole setup, but it breaks all the carts automatically.
Yeah.
Or Reg, I keep forgetting how to say his name. But yeah.
Yes. If we're talking about like the very general broad strokes of Luxar's splitter, it uses the static part filter, and then it uses yeeting for the box loading, and those are kind of like the two big cart based decisions. I'll put it up, yeah. And so it has some pretty cool advantages, but I think if you're okay with moving on, Kristen, I think we can talk about the rotating cart filters now.
Cybot should be a good first example of that, I think.
Yeah. It's a lot more like dramatic.
Cool.
And so
Take it away.
So basically, the second way to grab a box again. The second way to set and control filters is by just rotating the entire filter cart and basically just like taking the filter cart and then running that through your loader, rather than having these extra carts. And it's like a lot simpler to do it this way, where you basically use carts to pull the filter from the cart ahead of them. But the trade-off is that it can be slower, which...
Make sure you lower the tick rate between the first replacement so you can watch it.
Yeah. I'll just tick freeze when that happens.
Yeah, it might be better.
So I just put a box in, and the first card comes, and the second card's coming. I'll have to do this again, but like basically in the cart right now there's nothing because there's no box placed. So take step 20, box is now placed, and you'll notice that there's 18 items in this now, right, which is below the threshold. And so notably, this activator rail beneath the cart is locked. And so that way, when the next cart comes, which has been placed and picking up its blocker items, goes beneath the cart, it won't pick up the filter because we know there's no more iron ore left in the box. And for demonstration's sake, I'll put more copper ore in there so the next one does. If I tick tab 10, or the cart's just going to pass beneath innocuously, and so now I have an empty slot in the first one so it can start the next item type. And for importantly, I suppose, with Cybot's design, there's a 1 game tick delay between carts. And so there's 1 game tick where there's no cart pulling items from the box, which is pretty cool.
When it reaches a full stack.
Yeah. And so right now we'll notice that this cart beneath here just pulled 2 items out of the cart above. And so now it can only grab copper ore from the box because we know we think there's more copper ore in the box because this cart reached the required threshold for it to start pulling, or for it to continue pulling because it doesn't actually know anymore if there's any more items or not. And so it's kind of an information problem because like theoretically you could have exactly 32 items, right? And then at that point in time, you don't actually know if there are more items or not in the box. And so you could just have 32, or you could have like 15 stacks left. So you just kind of have to assume that once it is a threshold, it's going to need to pull more items. And so you check with the next cart. And if the next cart also pulls the threshold, then you send another cart. And if not, you reset the filter. So this cart is going to have it has the filter actually. And so this one will not pull any items really, because it got tricked into thinking there were more items when there weren't, which is like actually a speed issue with cart-based splitters. But yeah, so the big thing about
if there were more items, it would have pulled like 30 more items into the cart, but now it's just sitting here doing nothing.
Yeah, so this is like this cart is a wasted cart, so to speak.
But
And
you
it's
can't really get rid of that.
yeah, and you can mitigate it to as much extent as you can try to, but like with this, this is the problem with the rotating carts, is that you're sending carts when there is no need for the cart to be there. Whereas with the static filter, you know instantly when it runs out of items because it drops below a certain threshold, and you detect it dropping below that threshold, and then you can get rid of the cart. And so you have a static replacement time where basically in between every item type, assuming it crosses the initial threshold, you have that number of game ticks that it takes to get the next filter cart in place. That is your type change time. Whereas with the variable ones, where it's rotating the filter cart, that time is based on how many items go into the last cart, and that changes how much dead time there is in between carts.
Yeah, and that's part of why he chose to do it with 32 items about per cart instead of 64.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Yeah, you want smaller loads so that you waste fewer ticks when you miss the threshold.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
so
here, Cybot loads the carts with blockers from these hoppers here before like swapping the filter item. And Tiz can explain what the next step from that is.
From what? From loading the
From the
blocker item?
blockers, he puts the blockers into the cart first and then swaps
Yeah,
out the item. But you do something different in your splitter, right?
no. I mean, that
Oh,
is
no,
what
you
I
do it in
do.
your psych bar?
Yeah, and the sick bar, sick bar is a
Okay.
very different ball
Sorry, I
game.
was too early. We'll come back to that.
Yeah. You're good. But yeah, so I mean, this splitter is incredibly fast, because of the fact that there's very low replacement time between carts. So like it's literally there's one game tick where an item's not being pulled. So it's damn near 8x within item types. The
Yeah,
one of
Luxor
the
is as well.
sacrifices that is made for that in this case, is that you actually have this weird gap where the cart pulls like 8 to 10 more items after the filter of the previous cart is set. And so like it pulls 30 items, it tells the next cart, hey, set this filter, and then it keeps pulling items afterwards. And so like it could theoretically have set the filter and then be wasting time itself. And so there's this gap between the number of cart items the cart pulls and the threshold that you swap the cart at, which is like a weird inefficiency. But you can't really get rid of that either because carts are too fast. So yeah, and then after that, he just takes it to a loader. He also has idle carts in his because it makes it simple. And he was focused. If you notice the repeater spam, he was very focused on keeping this like very survival friendly to build. Like he could have probably made this half the size if he had used more creative wiring. And he said as much himself, but it's like a very survival friendly thing to build. I don't know if anyone's built it in survival necessarily, but he was keeping that in mind.
Theoretically could be done. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll move on to talking about my splitter because I know more about it and it uses the same mechanic.
And we didn't check the output, but those boxes are correctly split in the output. And Luxar's, I guess someone already cleaned it out. I actually don't know if the loader was working in this one, but they're over here? What the? Why are they all in? What is this? Oh, the dropper? I'm moving him to the bottom chest. I don't know what that was.
Oh, that's really weird. I think it's for they go into the water stream, but I don't know why this didn't fire.
It's 0-tick suction to the piston here. The hopper pulls it out, and this observer used to have a powered rail in front of it, and that broke for some reason.
Yeah.
So let's put that back and spam it a bit, I guess.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay. Either way.
Yeah, I mean the outcome is notably, I think this will also be easier to demonstrate with Cybots. There's going to be a very long signal that travels from like when a cart is detected to have like whenever the item type changes, because it's a splitter, you also have to break the box in the loader, right? And so that's kind of actually a pain in the ass. I speak from experience. When I say that, it is really fucking annoying because the timing is incredibly important when you're loading items at like close to, if not at 8x hopper speed. And so he just has this like a very long repeater chain that links up to the braking mechanism at his loader, which is like on the opposite end of his system.
That would be one benefit of detecting the items going into the box loader, because then the signal per se is transmitted through the items, and then the loader can read when the items are not present anymore and then break the box. But I haven't seen anyone do it, so there's probably some reason why no one does that.
Yeah. I mean, it like the gaps can be incredibly tiny, and so you need to read, like, you can't read from the droppers because sometimes there will be items in the droppers even in between item types, because that gap is variable. And so if you force that gap to be the same amount of time every time, then you're actually slowing your loader down. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't do it.
Do you want to touch on unstackable output? I don't know if that's worth mentioning.
Oh,
Luxar does it in a box. Luxar put the mace unstackable items into a box, so those would be filtered out later. Cybot might have an unstackable output.
He does.
I don't know if we tested it.
We did not, but it pulls straight from the cart on its way. I'm pretty sure. Like on its way out of the system. Yeah, we can. I'll grab a box.
Do you have the orange box?
Yes, I do. I'll toss that in there. I'm not pulling enough. It'll be fast, but it's not in the front this time. See you, Ghost.
Yeah.
I forgot I had a mic. Okay, see you guys.
Oh, I made the mistake of opening the box. See, this is one of the annoying parts, is like you can't open the box to look in it with Cybots because it stops the cart.
Shoot. Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
That's dangerous. Anyway, the output probably went to the chest. Oh, no.
It does go to the chest, yeah.
The unstackables. Okay, well, it looks like we kind of broke it anyways. We can move on.
We can talk about it in mine as well.
Because this line of hoppers here should be the unstackable item, which comes from this hopper.
Yeah, that is what it is. It's interesting though, because you filtered out at the very end after all the blockers are removed.
It's a choice.
Yeah.
There's the two maces. Yeah, I don't know if you just put them in for the fun of it.
I also actually do that technically in mine, but it's easier to do it that way oftentimes because
Cybot merged the shulker box and unstackable output, but you can see they're different hopper lines, so they could go wherever you want them. Okay, Tiz.
The basic mechanism for unstackable, I pulled the unstackable detection out of mine, is you basically just like, if the signal strength reaches 2 before it reaches 3, then this torch turns off, and it sets this, like, it uses this comparator here turning on to lock the repeater that would detect the unstackable. But if it reaches 3 before it reaches 2, or at the same time it reaches 2 rather, this repeater will fire because of tile tick priority, as well as just the timings, and that locks when the comparator turns on from the torch turning off. It locks the repeater on, which I can demonstrate. This is like, I stole this basically straight from Cybot. I don't know a better way to do it.
To the comment that's just remember the filter items. The filter cart will normally pick up items slowly over time. So it'll increase signal strength 1, 2, 3 as the items go into the cart. Unstackable items are a full stack. And
so they go straight to SS3, yeah.
So it goes right to 3.
Yeah, so if you look at it right now, like, this is what it does when there's an unstackable detected. And that repeater just turns on, and the system locks up. And then if you put a stackable in, put enough
Where's
stack.
the repeater output? Is that?
It's underneath the target. It's by the target block, right here. But this is what it looks like if you just put a whole bunch of stackables in over time, and it locks the repeater to prevent it from turning on ever. Yeah, so it's a fairly simple system, but very, very well thought out.
Yep, looks great.
Um,
Unstackable item turns the lamp on. Yep. Okay. Cool.
So my system, again, I broke it apart a little bit. The filter is like roughly the same concept as Cybots, with the crucial improvements that one, there's actually no delay between cards pulling from the box, and the gap that exists in every one of these, but in Cybots in particular, between the filter, like the next filter cart being set and the next cart leaving, is significantly smaller here. And so there's like there's like 2 or 3 items between this rail unlocking and the cart pulling again. And so this has a much more accurate detection of when an item type leaves, or is out, because it lets the cart not set the filter as frequently, which we can watch. Let's grab some boxes. Yeah. And so,
Oh, you pull the card out with a wall. Okay.
yeah, so Whisper, you just messed it up by standing in it. So when you sometimes player hitboxes can fuck how cards move.
Yeah, this is borked.
Yeah. I can paste the new one.
Yeah, you don't want to run into. Just wipe it and paste a new one. Yeah. Should I help wipe it, or you?
You can wipe it. I'm just gonna put it to the side for now.
Okay, so I can wipe it pretty quickly if this is. Hey, what?
I can come back to that in a moment. Thank you. Okay, so I gotta go grab boxes again. Yeah, basically the whole system just works by cycling carts, and then it just needs to determine if the filter is going to be set again or not. Just like every other splitter. The advantage, basically the cool thing is that when you have 0 game ticks in between carts and the variable filter, the strength of the stacked cart of pulling at maximum speed is matched, right? And so you don't actually have a reason to use the static cart filter if you can pull with variable filters at maximum speed, other than that fixed window of time that you get in between cart filters. But this will oftentimes be faster than that anyways. It just depends on the input.
Whoever's doing the recording, I think that's Willie. Where are the cards dispensed? Sorry.
Oh, the cards are dispensed over here.
Trying to find it. So that's this good enough? Wait. Okay, actually, where are they dispensed?
This is where the cards are dispensed.
Okay.
And
so
look at
where
that
can they
over
watch the inventory from?
What was that?
Where could they watch the inventory from?
Oh, the cards being dispensed?
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a little
Willie,
confused.
if you want to TP to me, like my exact location and direction, I don't know if it does that. Should I move? I don't know if you're ready.
But
So yeah, right in front of this block here. I think you did it a little late. And you should be able to click, if you get closer, you should be able to click on the cart right as it leaves the dispenser. And if you want to start it.
Yeah, we can just tick freeze if you want.
I think it's better to just watch it at normal game rate.
Okay.
But Willie, can you click on the cart and see it, the inventory? I don't know if he has his mic on.
Yeah, I'll tick freeze.
Okay. Maybe it's not working. Well, I like doing that, but I don't know if you can reach that far. Sorry.
You can also go into spectator mode, and I think you don't bump the cards. Right now, there's a card being configured though. So I have there's like a brush is the unstackable I use to block it because I thought it'd be funny, and basically the whole journey from there is just like building momentum because the momentum is really important for this one. And then after that, it is just like picking up all the blockers. Yeah, so now now it has all the blockers already. And you'll notice that the rail turned off. So this activator rail is off, which means it's going to grab the dark oak logs from the hopper card that's set right now, which is why I have to use the filter and then 4 blockers setup is so that this card can grab items from the card ahead of it. But yeah, so then that's just how this one works. Again, the cool things are if you watch the box, there are literally no breaks in between items leaving within item types. It's just grabbing at max speed at every moment, which is very satisfying. There's a lot of water everywhere all of a sudden. But yeah, so the variable cart filter here works incredibly well because there's no gaps and because you can detect item types changing very, very accurately, which are 2 very important things. And the other cool thing when you have no delay is there's actually weird math that you can do to figure out the expected speed given like certain stack sizes. And when you have 0 game tick delay between carts, you can you're trying to spam carts as fast as you can with the smallest inventory possible, so that it's maximally accurate. But that's definitely a deep rabbit hole that we probably shouldn't go down.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, you see, you have your unstackable output on the water stream here. What else do you have? The outputs. Where's your box output?
Box output's down here.
Okay, cool. And what are these ice streams for?
This is so boxes can get called. Like there's a global call line for if you were to hook up multiple splitters together, and so you can just send a whole bunch of boxes whenever a box is broken. And so there's a line to go over the hoppers and a line to come back from the hoppers.
And the white wool is just your carpet.
Yeah,
box
yeah, it's
input, carpet
correct.
mod. Cool.
Oh, but yeah, one of the things that was really important for me when I built this was I wanted to have everything be water stream outputs because I find that easier to work with, and it's just like fewer hoppers. So
Yeah.
that was one of my design constraints.
And
I don't know if Whisper's not here anymore. Okay. Yeah, and then the loader is I think it's Chinese tech actually. That Andrews found and I stole from Andrews.
well, I posted this in the storage tech post thread before I saw anyone else use it.
So did you make this?
Well, actually, okay, I should correct that. I saw a post from Talon using it in like a 4 times unloader, and I saw no one using it for 8 times. This should be powered. But yeah, I don't know. Either way.
It is very
I think
cool.
I was the first one to apply it to 8 times loading, but
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, the credit goes to you, I suppose. It's a cool design. I think that's one of the.
I know I used it before Andrews, but I don't know if Werg saw it from me or from Chinese people.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think Werg said he credited Andrews, which got it from me, anyways, and I got it from Talon.
Big circle.
It goes around.
Yeah.
But yeah, either way, so the cards in here are yeeted using that technology. So there's no static carts in your unloader. I mean, loader.
Yeah. Which is really, really cool.
Powerful 1.19 tech.
Exactly. Use just yeet the carts. Lol. But yeah, so I don't know.
Great.
I could talk about this thing for probably hours. This is just a fucking
Can I delete it and you repaste it where it should be?
yeah, go for it.
Okay. Cool. You got the paste in there. Nice.
Yeah.
The Lightmatic delete mode is really cool when you have auto select.
Yeah,
I can just do delete, select, and delete, and it deletes any area instantly.
Yeah, Lightmatic is very useful for those sorts of things.
Axiom probably has one for that as well.
Axiom does have a delete mode, yeah, but I'm very comfortable with Lightmatic, so I often just use that one.
Yeah. Okay. I think that finishes splitters, though. Are we on to Sekvar?
Yeah, we can go into Sekvar, which is
Cool.
very similar actually, but typically they use a different blocker config, and that's the biggest difference.
Yeah, that's the first thing I think I'm interested to hear you talk about.
Yeah. So basically, the optimizations for Sekvar, like what you're trying to achieve, is different than Splitter, in the sense that you are trying to tile many slices to get your speed, not make each slice as fast as possible. Because the fact of the matter is you're going to lose a lot of speed just because of Sekvaring logic. And so when you're designing it, you want the core to be small, not the core to be as fast as possible. And so I don't know who came up with it initially. It may have been Monica. I know that in Camper Wood Slice, they do it as well. But basically, you put the blockers first. So you have 4 unstackables followed by the filter item, and then you literally pull the entire cart inventory from cart to cart, and so you have 4 blockers in the entire system total. And
it doesn't pull the whole cart; it pulls the first 5 items.
Yeah, first 5 items. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you pull 1 item from every slot, which is, unless you're changing item types, which is only at the end of cycles. Which is a crazy way to do it that I would have never thought of if I had not seen Camper Wood do it.
I think Monica was the first to show it. I'm not sure though. Kind of
I would
just comes from Monica.
So. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the point of that too. I'm like, oh, okay, Sekvar. It was probably Monica. But yeah, so that's the basic premise, and every Sekvar slice that I've seen come out, besides I think like the very first one that Hidden Squid released, which was like just a slice, does it this way because it's just much smaller, and it requires a lot fewer hoppers. Yeah, and that's the biggest difference. And then obviously you're never changing the filter in between, like within the same box. It's typically like you run every box over a filter and then you change the filter. And so changing the filter doesn't need to be so optimized, which is why you can kind of get away with putting it in the 5th slot.
Yep.
But yeah, there's just a few slices here, starting with Camper Woods, and then there's my slice, and then there is Hidden Squid's like most recent slice, which I'm not sure if it's functional or not, but yeah, I just figured I'd paste it for completeness sake. He switched from using, so there's actually, it's kind of cool, there's 3 different loaders here. Kempor would like yeets his carts and then just loads the loose items, which I don't like because it's like fairly suboptimal in terms of you can't actually control the distribution of items across hoppers.
Yeah, this is the distribution I use in my ideal splitter as well.
And so you end up with a lot of problems where you're not actually loading at 8x speed consistently.
I don't think I would use it in this case because each cart is eating one stack of items. And
Yep.
so that'll very heavily prioritize one hopper over another.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm actually quite concerned how this thing
I don't know.
functions.
No one,
But
yeah, I don't
in my
know.
ideal splitter, because I'm actually sending many stacks of items to the loader at a time, it
Yeah,
actually
you're in
gets
a
a pretty
really
decent
good
distribution
distribution.
between the
Yeah.
4 hoppers.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it still has issues loading smaller stacks fast, but
Yeah, here you're just like trusting the cart's breaking up of the item entity to like split it into 4 different hoppers, and that's like really suspicious. So like I don't do it like this. I don't know many people who do it like this. This is like the only slice I've seen. But yeah, I use Monica's loader layout, which I had to wire and was a big headache. But it uses piston bolts to keep the carts into 4x loading positions. And so you load the cart at 4x into the box, or unload the cart into the box at 4x for twice as long because you have 2 different positions.
yep, you get rid of the static carts for distribution entirely.
Yeah, which is really, really cool. The problem is this loader is actually like very large because it's supposed to be 3-wide tileable. And so you end up with like a lot of extra height, which is why I was encouraging Hidden Squid to try and figure out how to make the one from the Ideal Splitter that Christone was also involved in the development of 3-wide tileable, and then use that in his next iteration.
And yeah, this is like, I recognize some of this circuitry from my orange loader. I could link it somewhere, but yeah.
Yeah, if you could put it in text or voice, I'd take a look at it.
Continue,
so
it'll take me a second.
Yeah. So basically, it's really just like, it's just a loader from my splitter, modified to be 3-wide tileable instead of 4-wide tileable. He does some really interesting / confusing things that I have never seen before with the breaking of the box. So I don't know what this is about, to be honest, but yeah, I have no idea what this is about. What the hell is he doing? What is he doing here?
So text for voice, that's got a date on it. It shows that was February 2024, so 2 years ago. Wow.
Damn.
Almost on the dot too. That's funny.
That is funny. Let's see.
But yeah, you can see the observer reading the redstone into the fence, so that's why I was kind of saying it looks oddly, suspiciously close. Andrews did the switch from cactus to lava cauldron, so that's why that's different.
Okay. Yeah, I think the lava cauldron does makes it a little bit tighter.
Yeah, definitely.
Easier to
I
wire
just felt like cactus for some reason at that point in time.
Yeah, as you should. But yeah, so he switches loaders, which is cool. The core in his is from Monica. It's very, very good. It's really interesting design.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then the one of the cool optimizations here is like just like with my splitter. I don't know how this detector rail next to the piston works, to be entirely honest.
Which one?
This detector rail would power the piston to the adjacent slice.
What the?
I hope he's relying on that, but I suspect that that's not good because that's going to be on for 20 game ticks. Anyways, the idea with the core though here is that he made the batch size, like most SICVARs have pulled a full stack, like that's kind of just been assumed to be optimal up to this point. But now he ran some simulations, being Hidden Squid, and we were talking about it. And he decided that we should be trying to pull smaller stack sizes, which makes
it goes
a lot
back to the thing that Cybot did, pulling only 32.
Yeah, exactly.
Similar idea.
Yeah, and like my splitter pulls I think like 27.
28.
And yeah, and this pulls I think like 30 or 32 items. And so you can get a lot higher efficiency on those like smaller boxes where you have like 10 items. You're wasting a lot less time than you would if you were trying to pull a full stack, which is really, really helpful.
Do we want to review where blocker items are kept? Because that's one strange thing about these designs.
Yeah. So basically, blocker items are kept in this hopper here, which is the same hopper that feeds the dispenser. And so you'll notice there's 5 carts in here, but what happens is one cart gets dispensed, and then there are just 4 hoppers in here, 4 hopper mine carts in here, and those become the blocker items. And so this is a really, really clever way to get the blocker items into like the maximally small footprint. Like there's like no extra anything for them. They just get loaded in on the first when the cart gets configured in the beginning.
Cool. And what happens with the next cart though?
So the next cart pulls the blocker items from the currently loaded one.
Oh, right. Sorry. Brain fart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you, with this one, because the cart is beneath the box, you lock the cart while the one beneath is pulling items.
Yep.
And so that's why there's the activator, the
Cool.
The activator right there.
And these other 2 designs, I know we had some funny stuff with water bottles.
Yeah. That was one of the thoughts that I had that I would not do again if I designed it before is I decided to just like filter out the like at the end. One of the annoying parts with doing the 4 blockers in the cart and like just like pulling them out the next cart is that you need a very separate protocol at the end of every sorting session to remove the blockers and get them back into their home location. Again, one of the beautiful things with Monica's core and Carrie, I think it's Monica and Carrie's core, is that it literally just like goes haha bozos, just like put the cart through and ignore everything, which is beautiful, right? It's just very elegant.
Explain what that means with the build here. Is this the same top that Camphor uses as well, by the way, or is this different?
What was that?
Is this top here that Hidden Squid uses the same as Camphor would?
The top portion, I don't think so. No.
Okay, because there was some similarities. Sorry.
Yes,
explain.
I mean Camphor's wood is just a slice that's supposed to be part of a very traditional Sikvar, and Hidden Squids have been local reset, and so they're not actually ideal output. So his top has to do very different things. But there's like both of ours Hidden Squids in mine have a brewer on top of what I had pasted here. It's just not useful for talking about Cardvar.
Yeah. Sorry, I interrupted my own question. Can you finish explaining the blockers, where that path is?
Yeah. So basically, at the end of a sorting session, when you're like resetting the entire Sikvar, you lock the hoppers in the loader, push the cart through the loader. In this case, you can just yeet the carts because this loader is very convenient. You just turn the loader off. The cart goes through normally. You flick the fence gate one more time, and then the cart with its blockers in it just gets yeeted, right? And so instead of just the cart getting cycled back,
is where all the carts normally get yeeted, right?
Yeah, correct. It's in the same place. So in the same place that everything gets yeeted, you just yeet the cart and the blockers, and then everything files back into that first hopper, and so you're back at position 0, which is incredibly elegant. Whereas with mine, you do the same thing, like where you push it across all the hoppers, you lock the hoppers, and then you yeet it at the end. But in order to make sure that I got all 4 blockers back with the setup that I had, I made it so that the blockers were water bottles, and you try and push everything into a brewer, and only the bottles get pushed back into the barrel, and the carts make it back into the droppers and dispenser. And that was my jank ass solution to that problem. But it does work. So
yeah, and then the camphor wood.
Yeah, the camphor wood one
still just yeets the cart, and then there was a trapdoor switch.
Yeah, correct. So this iron trapdoor flips up, and so the items get pushed into this water stream here, and then onto the hopper with the blockers in it. So it uses the fact that its yeeter pulls the cart separately to separate the cart from the blockers.
Oh, and this also has a trapdoor on this side.
Yeah, that's
With
it'd be
water.
pushed a lot that way. But yeah, so
Oops.
I don't know. Camper Woods is like very theoretical. Both Squids and I's come from like we actually wired the system logic and had to modify the slices accordingly. And so I'm pretty sure Skyzy made a Sigfar with a modification of Camper Woods core. And he had to change he changed the slice a whole bunch to make it smaller and other things.
It was a good
So-
conceptual demo for YouTube, though,
Yeah, exactly.
because it showed off the cart logic and
Yeah, and this is a really cool way to swap the carts. It is a little slow. My core is like 7 game ticks. I think Monica's and Carrie's core is like it can theoretically I think be 6 game ticks. And Camper Woods is like 12 game ticks. So it's a lot slower, but
cool. Are there any questions from the audience? We probably should have been asking, but I don't know. I think we're about done with Sigfars.
yeah.
It's kind of dead out here.
Yeah. Audience was leaving slowly.
It's okay. There's a recording.
Exactly.
Okay, well, if there's no questions, I think we're on to stacked carts,
Yes, which is Christone's wheelhouse.
which is
Everyone has make up Valentine's Day.
oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, I honestly haven't seen really anyone but me working on stacked cart variable filters.
Yeah, they seem crazy.
So I should note that the only way that this is possible for me to be able to do it is because of when I worked with Rapscallion and Talon on Cartmas V3 or cart storage, because I got to learn from Master Talon. And I learned a lot of tricks about understanding carts that directly applied to being able to finagle them as this requires. So I don't know where I should start, honestly. I would
I mean,
I'm going to start here, actually, because I think this is the best explanation of the general topics, and it doesn't have core automating everything like last time. So, okay, here we go. So you want a stack of carts all filtering for the same item. There's 2 ways to create the stack of carts. One is to generate each of them individually in an 8 game tick cycle, one after each other. And that could be done. Technically, that's what this yellow machine does over here. And I could just demonstrate that. Yeah, sure, why not?
go for it.
I can hack this a bit. I'm just going to directly input items because the topic of this machine overall is not good for right now. But in this first hopper here, I can put a stack of items. Actually, I'll launch them across just so people see where they're coming from. So that stack, no, that's way too many items. We don't need that many. Okay, just 16 redstone. Yep, not aligned, of course. I'm terrible at doing this. Okay, here we go. 16 redstone goes into this hopper. And at 8 game ticks, carts are dispensed, and the hopper puts items into the cart one at a time. And then these 4 hoppers over here have different stackable blocker items in each slot. using glass panes, because why not? So I'll show that running, and so you can see each cart gets generated and stacked up. And so in a pretty short period of time, we now have 16 carts here, all filtering for redstone dust. So,
Beautiful.
for example, I'll should I filter something? Let's just put a few stacks of dust in the stream here. So if I put like dust, 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 and then like a torch, and then more dust. So this is the magic of stacked carts here, is that all these carts can filter for those items at the same time. So now those carts have the dust, and the torch is over here. I've just picked it up already, but I'll just leave it there.
Nice.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So that's the first thing. Since okay, I'll do global first. So overall, we generated the stack of filter carts. We used the stack of filter carts. Now we have to unload the stack of filter carts. So I can remove this now. The next thing is to break all the carts. But yeah, I'll note that you could unstack all these cards at 8 game ticks, remove the blocker items individually, and then break them. But what's faster is to break the whole stack at once.
That would be faster.
And if you used unstackable blocker items, that would be a mess.
Yeah, just
Because that's 4 times the amount of cards you have.
Yeah,
Now you have blocker items mixed in with the items you want to be sorted. So with you use stackable blocker items, then those will entity merge together. I'm just going to break it, and so you can see here, we let them batch on the slab here and the slab here. So now all those items are merged together, and these 4 hoppers pick up our blocker items again. And so really quickly, all in this case, there were 16 carts, so 64 blocker items were picked up really quickly, and now we have all our redstone over here. So that's a basic example of stacked cart item sorting.
huge.
Yep.
What kind of? I mean, this is a little out of order, maybe, but I'm just kind of curious.
Go ahead.
How did you get into like specifically doing stacked cart stuff?
Speed is cool.
Speed. Okay, so it's just the extra speed.
Yeah, speed is cool. Originally, it was because I thought psych bars were cool, and psych bars were way too slow. So if you could pull items out faster, that'd be cooler.
I
Hello.
No. So I might as well come over here to the stacked cart sick bar.
Good transition. That's
So here, of course, this machine has not been fully wired up, but I think it connects to concepts that have been wired up, so it's theoretically doable and useful. So here we go. Right at the top here, from global logic, we have our blocker items. This, like I demonstrated before, uses 16 filter carts. So we need 16 blocker items.
speed.
The choice of blocker items, I think I will get back to later. But there's a whole longer story about that, but I don't know if I'll get into that. Okay, here we go. So I'll move this cart and get our stack set up. Do we have a box we want to filter out?
I can go grab one. Let's do this one's a home to deep slate in it.
Sure.
Cobble deep slate.
Want to toss it somewhere or place it? Cool. Okay. Okay. So that box got a bunch of cobbled deep slate gravel. So I'm going to filter out the cobbled deep slate. So I'm just going to grab a stack of that and shove it over here. This is the one thing about this design is that it can set the filter, but no, just don't do it. There's so many reasons why you don't want to do that. Have something earlier deal with setting the filter. You need 16 items.
16 item type checker.
Don't do a 16 item type checker. I don't know. Maybe do. That's one of the hardest parts about this and why I haven't like really built one is because I don't really know what to do on that first stage.
Yeah.
I'd probably use like an 8 times variable filter to deal with that. And so that's why I was working on the yellow stuff over there because I kind of need that on top of this. But got that. We got our box. I lost the box. Great. Now I have the box. Okay. There we go. We got our filter cart ready. Cool. So now we need to get the 16 carts. Instead of setting them up 8 game ticks after each other at one at a time, we can do that faster too. Dispense 16 carts, and I'll just do that here. Oops, don't break it. Do this. Okay. And there you go.
Oh my god.
So in that quick, short period of time, we now have 16 carts set up in the filter core.
Crazy.
And
was so
sorry,
fast.
not set up, placed. And so now I switch where the cart goes in the setup slot. This, water stream, pistons, kerf rail here was a key compacting factor in making this all work well. Because this handles the 16 carts coming in, the filter cart going out to the side here, I'll show in a second, and the box going out to this side over here when it's broken. Does a lot in this small block.
Just using the water redirection tech.
Yeah, water redirection, the slab on top so the carts can clip through the trapdoor so the carts can slide out underneath. Like, this
Using
took me so
every
long.
single jank cart property.
Yeah,
the book.
there's so much about this one block here that gave me so many headaches.
Jesus.
But we need to set up these carts now, so let's continue on. The trick here, probably should tick freeze. I'll do that. What rate are we on? I'll check that first.
20.
It didn't like that. I'll just force it. We're on 20. How should I do this? Yeah, I'll just tick freeze. Okay, so over here we can now release the new filter cart into the system. I call this the seed cart in stacked cart mechanics because it is seeding all the filters, setting all the filters. So we'll drop that cart in. Step like 10 ticks, I guess. This barrel is just here because it could theoretically be used to set the items, but no, do it earlier. The cart comes through. And okay,
Oh,
so
wait,
here's
you have
the main.
game frozen.
But yeah, the game's
Yeah.
frozen right now.
Okay, sorry. I was testing something over here, and I was like, "Why are these comparators not updating?"
Yeah. Does it not give like freeze or tick alerts to everybody?
No, it does. I'm just not reading them.
Okay, cool. So this is the main trick that I used here. The curved rail not only allows the carts to go either direction, but it also forces the cart, the seed cart, to clip over the suction carts.
Yeah.
And there's actually a sign in there already, so tick is being. Oh yeah, we got cart position client stupidity.
Yeah, bullshit. So
So
annoying.
this cart is already on that rail, according to the game, but whatever.
Yeah.
There's command rules and stuff to make it not do that, but I don't know if I want to do it now while we're in the tick freeze. Okay, anyways, so this glass up here, when this cart comes in above the slab, it gets aligned to the center of the block. Okay, and then when the cart slaps onto this rail, it gets shifted over diagonally to about where I am centered. And so that way, some of the cart is over these carts, and some of the cart is over this powered rail.
It's technically in all 4 blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's the trick to use in the 8x unloaders, for example. Like, it's the cart's on the curved rail, so it's above 4 hoppers. Either way, let me just take step a little bit. I'm going a bit slow. Oh gosh, so much rendering garbage. Okay, so that's where we are now. The cart is on the rail, and I'm hoping you guys are seeing the same thing I am, because client is garbage.
It's on the rail.
Cart's on the rail, and it's probably already pulled everything out. Oh, no, not yet. Wait, there were 64. Oh shoot, I set it up wrong. Ugh. It won't technically break anything, so I'm going to ignore it for now, since I'm doing that manually. But
I can pull it. I can pull it.
No, don't. You don't want to touch it.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, I'm just going to keep going, and so it spends a lot of time here, really slowly, which is like 10 game ticks to me, I guess.
Half a second, yeah.
Yeah, I need to just completely reset. Okay, screw it. Unfreeze. It's supposed to have 16 blockers of each type to divide amongst the carts.
Did that mess with the momentum of it?
No, it wasn't an us problem. It was I gave 64. Let me break this. You can see some of the magic before we're ready to see it. Okay. Try this again. Okay, this time we're doing it correctly. Do 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 do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cobbled deep slate. Clear inventory. There we go. Properly set up card.
Nice.
Let's run through this again. Clear all the carts. Get 16 new ones. Not yet. Got to set the core. Okay. Flip the core back. Lever be weird. Okay. Okay, and so we get to tick freeze again. And so I'm going to say watch the carts down here, whoever's recording, on this first run. And so we can see that each cart gets set up. Let's do like 10 more ticks. Each cart gets set up with the 4 blocker items and 2 to 4 cobbled deep slate, or 1 to 4, depending upon how much of the extra seed item you put in. And so that's all set up already. And now we can look up here and see the seed cart is leaving the top. And it takes a little bit to get out of the water stream, so I'm just going to unfreeze. And so that cart's broken and can be recycled. And then the output items are up here. The plank was from broken testing earlier, but when setting up, it does sometimes drop 32 items, but it doesn't matter. Let's actually filter a box now, why don't we?
No.
Sounds good.
Okay. I'm gonna remove
would
the
be
extra
one.
32. So, there's a lot of things that happen really quickly here. First, need to release the piston, make sure it's all set up. Filter carts are happy. Unlocked. So I'll talk about what the comparators are doing first, I think. This comparator here detects input boxes. The comparator down here reads the fill level of the carts.
The
And-
first cart.
It's not any cart, it's not random, it's not all the carts, it's just the first cart, the oldest cart. And this is important because the oldest cart is also processed first, not only for the comparator readout, but also for pulling items.
Yeah.
This would be bad if that was swapped somehow, because if there's not 16 items, enough to go in every cart, then one cart would fill up more than the rest. Whenever there's like a random amount of items, one cart will always fill up more than the rest. But since the cart the game prioritizes to fill up and the cart the comparator reads are the same, then we don't waste time. We can detect when one of them's full, and we don't wait for all of them to fill up, because that'll
Yeah, you
should
are.
be, yeah. Either way, there was an older version of this where I was thinking 27 carts in the stack, read when they're all full, and then send that out to be loaded into a box. But you can't ever be sure that all the carts are full.
Yeah.
And if you have some of the carts full and some of them not, then your unloading speed goes down. And the point of having stacked carts is now pointless.
Yeah.
So you really want to make sure that whenever the cart fills up, you just break them all and create the next cycle. And so that's what this is doing. Here, when the cart fills up, we have 116 stackable, because that means that about 63 items, it'll trigger into signal strength 4. That means also 16 stackable items will trigger signal strength 4. And that lets us know that there's enough items in the first cart to set all 16 carts in the next cycle. And that's actually that reasoning doesn't matter, because it'll grab. I need to just continue that later. That'll make sense in a second, but it doesn't need to have 16. As long as the first 16 carts are set properly, it will always have enough items to set the next round.
Understood.
I need to show it. This comparator reads the box. So because the carts are pulling so fast, this goes down about 10 game ticks. About every 10 game ticks, the signal strength will decrease.
Oh my god.
If it's pulling items. I could be wrong, but I think that that's accurate. So anyways, when I place the box, this will start at about 14 or so, because that box is pretty full. And then it will decrease quickly and then stop at some point, like 7 or so, when the box is not getting any more items pulled from it, when it has all the cobbled deep slate filtered out. The carts down here will increase to about signal strength 3, because this is not enough to fill all 16 carts up. And then it will just sit there. So there's a bunch of fun things to watch. You can watch the comparator signals. You can stick your head in here and watch the box empty. If you use I think it's like Matica inventory preview. You can just
Yeah, with I. Yeah.
hold that and be ready, because you probably won't click the box in time to see the cool stuff. Either way, I'm gonna place the box now. So watch something. I don't know.
Holy shit.
And there we go. So we're down to 8. The items are filtered out, and we're up to signal strength 3. So I'm going to send in another one of those boxes in a second. But to break the box, we break it with this piston, and it gets sent through the water stream to this hopper over here. And this fence gate is actually important because it means that only the item can go above this hopper, and the seed cart.
Yeah.
The seed cart will not be able to fit in that gap, and it'll drop down. But the items float up, so it can go into the hopper. And I'll break that.
Cool.
And place the box in a second. But first, where does this box go? This box has all the cobbled deep slate taken out of it. JK. That's a slab. Okay, good. And so now the next box. Yeah, I'll actually come back to that output later. This next box, here we go, will not get unloaded all the way.
Mm-hmm.
Because down here, the carts will fill up to signal strength 4. And there's enough items that all the carts will be full. So I'll place this box. And so we went down to signal strength 12. There's still items left in the cart, but all the carts are full at signal strength 4. So now we need to break them. I was on boxes earlier, so I'm going to stay on that thread. This box needs to be broken because to seed the next set of carts, the cart has to be able to get up here. So this box is broken. And so now we have a thing that you'll notice is that one of these boxes has no more items in it left to filter. The other box still has some items left in it to filter.
Yeah.
So these boxes would actually be sit back up to the previous grouper, because this would use box groupers, to double check where the box needs to go. Does it need to get refiltered a bit more? Does it need to? Is it done? Does it go into the next slice? Okay, so that's that. Now to switch the cart stack. This was also a really kind of magical part of the system. We use the fence gate unstacker. So the first cart will stay behind, and all the other carts will get yeeted. Then that first cart will fall down onto this powered rail and get stopped in the stream.
Oh, and then it can pull.
And so then all the items, which on this soul stand will get paused for a second to entity merge. So all the blockers will get pushed into this cart. And as I mentioned earlier, if this cart happens to not have a full stack of the items you're filtering, it'll also grab a full stack of those. Anyway, so I'll show that with this button back here. And we can watch those. So got all the carts over here that would get recycled to the top. And the cart here that has all 16 blocker items for each type and 64 cobbled deep slate.
Nice.
And
That's really smart using that card as the filter.
Yeah. That's the only way this thing won't become gigantic. And because you could use 4 hoppers as well, but then you need to use a piston bolt to set all your carts fast.
Oh my god.
Which is what Cubic did in his crafter. Yeah, you can take a look at the items. There should be 15 stacks. Cool. The trapdoor here can also be opened as just, yeah, whatever. Anyway, so to continue the cycle, we would place 16 more carts with the core set properly.
This would be so mechanically complex to wire.
Yeah.
It's so
I
cool though.
got the resetting mostly wired up, but yeah, there's a lot to process. And then the core needs to be set for this one, for the seed cart, and we send that one back up.
I remember, yeah.
And I use the fence gate trick over here again so that all the items are aligned to one side of the stream so they can slide past the fence gate. And the cart can't fit through a half block gap because of the fence
Yeah.
gate. And so it continues going up.
That's really cool.
And so then these carts are all filtered and ready to continue on. So I'll go ahead and finish sorting this box that we didn't finish. Switch piston. Cactus lol. I don't know if they'll launch that far out of there, but you can try. Okay, placing the last box.
They definitely will.
So now this box is empty and we can break it. Oh, empty of items to sort. And then, so those boxes are all sorted. And then when we're done with sorting the carts here, we can also unset the filter by unstacking the carts as before. And then also sending this cart away.
Which goes all the way back. That is that's really convenient.
And if the trapdoor was closed properly, then those blocker items would have been filtered out here to be sent back to the core. It's fine. So this would filter out the blocker items to send back to the core, and it only needs one cart. I don't know why I said 2 carts on the sign. Cart. Whatever.
Very nice.
Okay. So, yeah. And this is just a mad spam single directional wire or rail line. So that no matter what the slices are doing, this cart will always end up actually back at the core and not stuck somewhere.
Wait, what does this rail line do?
This
It's a
is
single direction stacked cart safe rail line.
Yeah, let me I need a void hole here. Hopefully that's enough. Let me
Cactus.
show you.
Oh wow.
Oops, that was
Oh, peek it broke.
no matter where you send carts on this line.
They always go to the same place.
This should be a solid block. I don't know why it's not solid, but
I think your void hole is failing.
it's okay. Either way, there's some different versions of this wire, but this is just an example.
Understood. That's wild.
Cool. I don't know if there's any specific questions on that. I've got another example over here.
You can fast left click them with a sword.
I also, yeah,
Did we?
I
I
placed
don't have
left.
fast left click.
Do I need to clear out carts? I have stuff.
He has tricks.
You have no clue how many carts I've had to deal with.
Oh, did it.
Oh, you got it? Cool. Yeah, I have placed like hundreds of carts per second manually to test
Is there a
things.
statistic for that?
Fast left click and fast right click from some mod.
No, statistic like tracking.
Oh, I don't even know if I want to know.
How many cards per second have you? What's your peak cards per
Is that
second?
by
please?
world? Oh, I thought you meant
Oh.
total cards placed.
Oh,
Cards per
that'd be-
second? I
that
mean, we
would
could
be-
find that out, but it's just
Yeah.
whatever the fast left click
64.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fast right click.
Um, do you think, just like from a practical standpoint, do you
No.
think? No, yeah, I didn't think so.
I think these
Uh,
rails
One
are more
check.
practical, not gonna lie.
So the
One
main
check.
problem with this is that while the carts do pull out items from the box at in this case 128 times hopper speed, there's so much transition time, especially in this design. For a psych bar, that might be okay and still have interesting advantages, but yeah.
It like leans. It feels like it. Yeah, I don't know. I think it has a lot of edge cases that I really don't want to think about. One
I don't
fun
know if
idea.
this really has edge cases though. Like, not.
I mean, obvious. And like just like what happens if there's less than 16 of an item type.
That
Right.
would happen before this system, so it's not this system
Yeah.
that has that problem.
Just put in this normal splitter before this, and then it works.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, you split it first and then you sick for it.
That's why when I initially introduced this design, I said it was an acceleration. So
Cards
it's
just
like
become mergers.
I'm concerned how many cards are now in that stack, but
Don't worry, I cleared it once.
180, nope, 90. Okay.
Oh my god.
Don't
Anyway.
worry, it gets
I'm going to
catched
ignore
by
that.
nothing.
I thought I
Powerful
had
hardware.
a funny thought, which is what if you like counted the number of boxes that were input or something, so you have that number of filter items, and you use that to like set the cart stack to a different size every
Yeah,
time.
there was one idea I had that was like make a bad grouper that doesn't remerge the boxes.
Yeah.
And just take those items. But yeah, I see we're getting cart griefed. Anyways,
We are brief.
this is a design that is yeah. This
Not
one I
really
took
practical.
I think this one actually is the one I would use if I wanted to use something practically for something. Which is kind of funny, but practically in quotes, I guess. This one
What does do?
don't know.
Yeah.
Sure, if you bust, but no. Okay. This one is optimized for switching item types.
Okay.
So do we have a box
I
with
think
like,
this is peak for farm storage.
yeah, where's the box from before? I'm gonna see
Like
if
with
this
the
breaks
orbs.
it. This might completely bork it, so that'll
Where
be
did that
fun.
orb go?
But actually, you know what? I'll just clean it out a little bit so it shouldn't bork it. Oh, did someone? Okay.
The orb box.
I had
go?
some extra deep slate.
It's over here.
Yeah,
Wait.
okay, this won't bork it. Okay. Oh, I just cleaned it up though. There we go, let's mix it up. So this box over here has 3 different item types in it, a lot of each item type. And I'm just gonna toss it in for now. And someone can come in and watch it.
Oh, holy.
That means it didn't work though. That's interesting.
I did not know that's a way to prep a stack of cards. That's crazy.
Where are the cards going? Why is none of them filtering out?
Don't worry about it.
Where did these cards go? There's supposed to be carts on this cycle route. Okay, well, screw this one. It's broken.
What is this posted? Like, how is it supposed to filter items?
The blocker carts are non-existent in this system. I don't know
Oh,
where they
okay.
went.
I was gonna
but
say because there are no carts in these.
Basically,
There's no block.
this system here that I'm just gonna add 2 carts to. They cycle around the system. Yeah, it's all screwed up. This was the coolest one too. Well, there's also a video that's on my YouTube channel, so JK. I actually said it once. This is an older one though.
This is a crazy way to get like a.
Why isn't it
Must
stopping? It should be
regain-
stopping.
We can make it stop.
Oh, because it's external reset. Okay. Anyways, I actually did use this in a system, but that was supposed to be last year's April Fool's video, which will probably come out this year.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
YouTube backlog.
Yeah. This thing, like all the scaffolding here, I game tick timed it so like it was as fast as possible. Because this one assumed that the shulker box had more than 16 of whatever item type you were trying to sort.
No, I
Which
just assumed
which
it.
is a
Yeah,
big fat assumption.
that is
But
very helpful though. That'd be a nice assumption.
but
To me, well,
in this system, it
Just
means
put it
that
in temp if you have less than 60. Joking.
no.
so anyway, there were some carts here. Yeah, I'm kind of getting distracted. Those were the 2 that should. Yeah, honestly. It just
Fastest
knew it's
splitter
already
ever.
split. Why not?
Yeah.
Smallest splitter ever.
Yeah.
Have a cart-based splitter. Page 1.
Yeah. So this thing is more interesting than the other one in some ways because if you somehow got the filter cart set up beforehand, if you got 16 items of that item type, you could feed in the mixed box and the seed cart with 15 items into the system, and it could pull them out really quickly. And so that's why I think this is a more practical concept, because you could have like a first stage variable item filter that gets up to 16 or 64 items. And then if that gets full, it could send it to here and at much faster speeds get the rest of them out. But also this would need to be changed up because it was made to pull out maximum of 5 stacks of items just really quickly. Yeah, so I don't know if we want to touch the other 2 examples. I think we still have time to rant more if we want. I don't know.
I mean, I think we should probably call it for the video sometime soon.
Yeah.
It's 2 hours.
So
but
it's probably good. Let's see. In my ideal splitter, I just used a box that had the 4 blockers in it with 27 of each blocker.
So you could configure every card at once.
I think I could just make another video sometime later about the blocker item shenanigans in this thing. But I'm kind of open to do whatever. I don't know if I should continue or what we should focus on.
Mhm. I mean, I think we should try and zoom out a little bit and kind of come
Okay.
back to like,
Let's
and
do
then we
that.
can, yeah, just for the end of the video. Yeah, I mean, I think that we've covered a lot of ground, and like not very much ground at the same time, because like cart is very, very deep, and it's also
Yeah.
have a lot of breadth. I think realistically, like stack tech is still very much so on the horizon. Like we're looking at it and trying to find ways to apply it because it just has a lot of complexities we haven't really done much with yet.
Yeah.
That seems. I don't know what are you looking forward to in using cards and like what do you think? Maybe a better question is this: where do you think we should be investing our time for
gosh.
actual returns in cart variable filtering tech?
Well, I think the first thing, and I think this is mostly done, but like have like designs for 8x splitter, 8x sigfar that like the community has like tested, edited, and like really likes. Like the hidden squid, I think it was, splitter at the end there looks pretty good. So I don't know what people have like people have done to test that or tweak it up or use it in systems. But I'd say like we've done a lot of work in 8x splitters and 8x sigfars. It'd be really cool to polish those up a little bit. I genuinely haven't looked at them that much though, so it looks like there's already been a lot of polishing going on with your 8x splitter and then that sigfar. Pretty good already. But then moving forward to like my mad stacked cart stuff. I don't know. It's like it feels like there's so much potential, but at the same time, it's just like it's crazy. I'm definitely going to continue progress on this machine and upgrade basically every component in it. And so
you think like
that's
right
a future
now
project. Right
like
now, this is
sigfar.
where I'm heading the most. This is not a sigfar.
Yeah. This
is
is like an item defragmenter.
Yeah. The way I think about it and the like way I first thought of it, why I wanted to do it, was basically, so the entity-based splitter, one stack per box.
Yeah.
Everyone always complains about it because it's only one stack per box. But like, what if it was more than one stack per box? And so this one was like, what if every item in the hopper actually represented a whole stack of items being sorted over here? And so then I used the 8 game tick cart setup to then do that. And I had to do them 8 game ticks instead of a pre-done stack because I have no clue how many carts need to be set up here.
Yeah.
And I need to figure that out, and it's easy to just dispense them until there's no more items. The other method is to have extra backup blockers in the back of the hopper and just dispense the max like 16 or 64. Which I might explore at some point, but
this feels more elegant.
It's a bit slower though.
Yeah. But speed, please.
But speed. Yeah. But yeah, the cool thing about this is that it uses the concepts of the entity splitter that I really like, where it's there's no variable sorting time. There's only 3 machines I know of that don't have variable sorting time, and that's the entity-based splitter, the ideal splitter, and a normal box splitter. Because the hopper or the cart searches whatever search space in that game tick. Here we abuse entity merging and then launching them across the hoppers to like do that sorting kind of. But it's not like a variable sorter SFAR or SIGFAR where there's some filter kept waiting for items to come in at some point in the future, later, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, when
And that's what causes like delays in the SIGFAR. Not necessarily that it's a bad thing. Like it makes it slower, but it's just a natural side effect of that sorting concept. Like it's just what happens in that method. But I've been kind of investigating what you can do with like near zero time sorting operations. That's a weird way to put it. I don't know what to call it, but what I mentioned. Yeah.
You think that's the space? There's a lot of potential progress in the future.
Yeah, because like this one here, I want to kind of show it working a little bit as we finish up, since I think this is an interesting direction. That box with a lot of cobbles, deep slate. I'm gonna put in 5 of those boxes, and we're just gonna let this thing run. I probably should tick warp a little bit, but
this is pretty fast.
Yeah, I'm impatient though.
That's why you want the speed, huh?
No, yeah. Just 20 seconds. Okay. So we should be almost done here. And since there was so few item types in those boxes, and it's a really great example of the system. So there's 7 item types, 7 entity stacks here that are merged together. And this is our mega pile of 130 entities. And so we'll split that stack, save it, send it to the aligners. And so now we can launch the keys across the hoppers and start sorting. And like I said earlier, this technically could be done a lot faster if you have extra blockers in the hopper and then just always dispense 16 carts.
Yeah.
So much more lag though, but it could be done faster, a lot faster. There we go, it's finally done. And that was the other thing I was going to mention earlier, but dealing with stacked carts where you actually care about their inventories, especially when they have items that can be moved between the carts, is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I was thinking about.
The only way to do it is to lock the carts when you're moving them. That is the only way to do it.
Okay.
Unless you're moving them perfectly horizontally, maybe with a piston or a flat rail. But anything vertically, anything with sloped rails, like they will find a way to pull from each other somehow. And so yeah, here they're locked all the way back at the start here. Technically, they could be locked at the start because this hopper puts in the filter item, the cart doesn't pull it. These hoppers put in the blockers, the cart doesn't pull it. That could be changed though. But what's important is that when it enters the stack, the cart is locked. And when it's on the stack, the cart is locked. And now once they're all stacked up, we unlock the carts with this lever back here. Yeah. And now we can launch the items. Hopefully none of them have despawned. I don't think I ranted that long. there were so many items in the stack that we got to send it back.
Oh my god.
But yep, they're all sorted now. So now you lock the carts before yeeting, because that's super important. If you don't do that, all sorts of bugs will occur.
Really?
Even if you just open the trapdoor right here, the carts will yeet in 2 stacks.
Oh, what
And
the
the
hell?
first stack will break, it'll pick, and then the cart items will there, and then the second stack will break a tick or 2 after, pick up
Oh my
the
god.
hopper carts
Yeah.
from the previous one, and hopper carts will go in your item output. So you have to
Jesus.
lock the carts. Even if you use perfect eaters, even if you think you aligned the carts perfectly together, you did not.
Oh.
Anyways, we'll send the carts out. And I'm going to freeze the game here a second. So the cart items are aligned against the wall, the side of the stream, because of the leaves. And the cobble wall and the slab above means that they must align to the side before they can start falling. And that's also true sort of over here. We have leaves waterlogged, pushing the stream or the items all the way to one corner. So that by the time all these items fall out of their water streams, they are perfectly aligned into a corner with no sideward momentum. So when they land in the streams below, they stay in their one wide tileable slice.
Makes sense.
And that is why every 4th slice is blocked, because we need the blocker items to merge together to go back into the hoppers above. And if you look at it, the leaves
Those
push
two
the
do
items
each
out
other.
to the side.
Yeah.
And so this slice is canceled because the leaves would push the items into the same corner right next to each other, and items could merge across slice and be bad. So, yeah.
This is a prototype. Long story
This
short.
was mega fast prototype. I built in like 4 hours or something. I just slapped things I could together. Anyways, let's look at the rest of this. The minecart items get launched across. Kind of a fun way to do that. And sent back. The main items go up and blockers filtered out, as we saw at the start of this. And so remember, we had 5 boxes, right? How much time did that really need to take? All 5 of those boxes could be unloaded and keyed at the same time. So we could have 5 unloaders in parallel. So that's 8 game ticks per stack, 27 stacks in a box, plus some time for unloading. And then entities merge together. We launch them across up to a stack of carts here. So that's 8 game ticks times 64. Then we launch the items across. Then send the blocker items back out. So 8 game ticks is a hopper, pulling items, right?
Mhm.
So in the time it takes a hopper to pull about 2 stacks of items, maybe 3 stacks if you add time for stuff to happen, this split 5 boxes of items.
Yeah,
Think
that's
about
incredibly fast.
Think about that.
Yeah,
So
that
we've
is
got
incredibly fast.
2 stacks of our deep slate slabs, 5 stacks of flint or so, 5 stacks of grass blocks, almost a whole box of deep slate. That's more than a box of deep slate. The other type deep slate, I didn't read it. Oh well.
Cobbled, yeah.
I don't know, 18, 16, 17 or so stacks of gravel, and 9, 10, 20 stacks of cobblestone.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Very fast. With speed.
So if you look at one slice of this per se, or just this where it just has one keying core, I don't really know what to call this thing. It basically becomes the ideal splitter, in a sense.
Mhm.
Like it's that speed. It's 64 times hopper speed. But if you have multiple of these keygen cores and box unloaders, you can slice a bunch of these together. It's a parallel operation. And then you can merge a bunch of items together. And then you can launch them across the slices. And if you don't care about ideal output, then you can have some extra keys come out the side over here as well. And so your speed becomes 64 times hopper speed, kinda, times the amount of splitter input systems per se and slices.
There's
you
a
would,
lot of parts of this that are gonna be
you
a
would
pain in the
A/B
ass.
tile the loading, maybe ABC tile the loading, with like 3 loads and 3 wide tileable 8 times box loaders, or something. I haven't even really gotten into loading, because
Yeah, I think this is just like conceptually how to generate defragmentation incredibly quickly.
in my theory, this continues off into entity-based temp and merging accelerators.
HP-based temp, oh boy. Oh
But
boy.
the main reason why that really hasn't been made is because storing all your items in a temp that's just pile of entities is lag.
Yeah.
So this is kind of inherently impractical. I think this is somewhat not laggy though. Like compared to that deal splitter, this is like actually comparable, I think, at times.
Comparable lag, yeah. I mean, it depends on how many key cores you have, but
Yeah.
as your speed increases, your lag will increase proportionally.
So
Yeah, this
practical,
is
no clue.
yeah. I mean, this is still really cool conceptually. Yeah, so thank you for sharing. It's very interesting to see all the stack card stuff in particular for me. I've spent a lot of time with like single card things, but I think stack cards are one of the ways that we can potentially move in the future. The problem is just like the kind of the hard limits of a cube game.
Yeah. Stacked
and
charts are
bumping
like the
these-
most laggy thing you could possibly do in item sorting,
Yeah.
but that's why they have potential. Lag isn't proportional to sorting speed.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I think I would echo your thoughts though. I'd like to see more development. I think that we're not even close to min maxed on 8x splitters or SIGFARs. SIGFARs in particular need a lot more development, but like technically speaking, I think my splitter's probably pretty close to the speed limit, but like not at all close to what you could do with like size and better cart routing and better loaders. Like I think there's just a lot of space for growth there. And I think that's one of the most practical applications of cart for incredibly high speeds and consistent high speeds is going to be splitters. And so I'd love to see that get more developed.
And the other thing is, like, I know we're on the Soon Tech server, but Soon TM tendency to keep making things better and not publish. But it also would be good to like really publish one of the current designs, like the top 2 I think that we have so far on each of those, and like document what they do.
Document what you splitter and SIGFAR or what?
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
the 2 that we pointed out at the end.
Yeah, there are schems for both of them, but neither of them are in. I should put them in the catalog.
Yeah.
That would be good to keep them more accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just make it so people can like understand these and work from them, because they are like kind of current peak.
Yeah, it's difficult to. I feel like we need to make the resources more accessible. This one doesn't work, by the way. This
That's
is
fine.
entirely your fault.
That, even more reason to fix it up and publish it
Yeah.
somewhere. Wait, why isn't it working though? Because it looks.
Hidden Squid just
I don't
didn't finish it. Like it uses a
Okay.
slice that he's been working on, but this is from his V2. His just because it uses a single grouper in the front end, but that's a very long conversation for a different time.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see more Sig4 development, and hopefully I'll be doing that soon as well. Too many projects, not enough time.
Yeah. So.
You can kill the recording if you would like now, Willie. Appreciate you sticking it out.
Okay.